and welcome to Rockstar UK. In this episode, I'm just going to be taking a little trip to Halfords. I need to get a rod separating tool because I cannot get those ball joints off of the hubs. Mind blank. So we're taking a trip in a moment today. We're in my Ford Focus ST225 Mark II. It's got a few modifications to it. It's got a 3-inch straight-through exhaust system, which is a Cobra Venom. It's got an AirTech front mount intercooler, BD Performance induction kit. I've also got like a custom crossover pipe because the standard plastic ones are prone to cracking. So I made one, custom made it. Wonders about being a fabricator. I've just done some cosmetic things like gold wheels. It's blue, as you can tell by the interior. Yeah, nice looking, nice car, and it's just a dream to drive. I mean, it really is nice. So yeah, go and get this rod tool, and then get back to the house so that I can hopefully finish off the Escort. The idea is to get that out of the way so that I can then get to the sump, clean the sump out, clean all the old gasket off, and then put a new gasket on and put the sump back up. And today is beautiful here in Bournemouth. I mean, it really is nice. I don't even know what the temperature is at the moment. Hang on, bear with me 1 second, I'll tell you the temperature. It is 22.5 degrees, which it's muggy because we had a bit of a thunderstorm last night, so it's really muggy in the air. And but it's blue skies at the moment. It's just Bournemouth when it's sunny is absolutely beautiful. It really is, because you've got a little drive down and you're at the beach, or you've got to drive in the opposite direction out just towards sort of Southampton way, and you've got the New Forest, and it is absolutely stunning. We've got a lot of history around here as well, especially with the New Forest, and it's just a lovely place to live. It really is. So let's do our trip. Let's get to it. Right, so after that painful trip into Halfords, turn the aircon down a bit. I got an oil filter. I got some connectors that I need to do the left-hand switches on the ruckers. Felix, my friend from the ruck shop, sent me a new switch for the left-hand controls. The one that I fitted didn't do the switch between the high and low beam, so I've got another one which Felix has sent me. Thank you very much, mate. So I'll hopefully get around to doing that this weekend, being a bank holiday. But my main focus is the Escort. I've got, God, this is a bumpy road. I've got an oil filter, like I just said. I've got a rod separator tool, or a ball joint separating tool, and an 18mm socket and spanner, because I wanted something to get on the nut properly so I can really get some welly behind it to undo it. Yeah, that's about it. So I'm just driving currently through Lansdowne and going towards the dual carriageway. So I'll be home in about 5 minutes, so that'll be good. And then we'll get straight to work on the Escort. Right, so now we're home. Finally got the World Cup cross member, steering rack and anti-roll bar out, which I'm going to have to replace some of these. They do look a little bit, you know, on closer inspection they look a bit knackered. I'm going to have to change this boot, but the rest of it is pretty good. It's just covered in oil. Yeah, clean up some bits like this and just reprotect it, but at least that's out. That then gives us, oh, excuse me, gives us full access to the sump now. So what I can do is drop the oil, start taking the sump off, and then give it a clean off all the old gasket, and put a new one on, and away we go. One thing I forgot to mention: when you're doing any work in the UK, you've got to have a cup of tea and biscuits. If you're English, you know. Update. Sorry about the hair, face, yuck. So quick update. Oil has been dropped. Changed the oil filter. Both pretty clean actually. I mean, the oil's got no bits or bobs in it. It's actually quite clean. So I've started taking off these tiny little 5mm bolts from the sump. There was a couple of 10mm hex heads which were just in a hard to reach place, but I've got two that I can't get to, which are right up the back. Because it's a big wing sump, it's quite hard to reach to the back couple, and that's where I suspect the leak is coming from. So I'm going to have to get like a longer 5mm Allen key to be able to get up there. Yeah, so I better get to that. Hello, under the car. Right, the sump is finally off. There it is over there. Hang on, see if I can spin. Nope, hang on. Okay, so the sump is finally off. The pickup looks clean, which is good. I'll just check for any debris in there. There's nothing. The gasket come off like really well. I mean, good quality gasket that doesn't fall apart is worth its weight in gold. This is smooth. This is the oil pump, which is nice and clean. It's all, the gasket's fine. I'm just going to tighten them up, see if they need it. Like I just said, pickup is nice and clean. The bearings are like really good. There's no movement in them. And no spinning or anything. It's just such a clean bottom end. I mean, I know it's a fresh build, but have a look at that. Oh, we've got a little bit of dripping oil, but I reckon the oil leak was from this sort of like seal here, because you have a paper gasket or like a cork gasket that goes around here, but in here it's like a rubber seal that goes in there, and it's hard as balls to get in. And just here, this is the clutch opening. So the clutch cable goes in. I think it's just, yeah, somewhere around here. But the clutch cable goes in. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see that. The clutch cable goes in, and it pulls the fork backwards and forwards. Well, in here, just here, there was oil. Well, you can actually see it on my hand there. There was oil. So I think it was this like back seal here that was leaking, dribbling down this sandwich plate, and then thank God it didn't get anywhere near the clutch and flywheel, because that would have been slippy times. But yeah, cleaning there. So yeah, next thing is just to put the sump gasket on, give it a good clean. Obviously, before I do that, check if there's any other oil leaks, and then we can put the Escort back together. And once I get it all back together, I will be taking you guys out for a spin in it. Alright, so now what we've got to do is clean up these faces here. You see, this is what it's like. So all of this black stuff that you can see here is the old sealant. So make sure you get all the bits off, especially all of these bits that are inside, because obviously you don't want them falling off and contaminating it like all of this. So this is all going to have to get cleaned and washed out. So here we have one of these. So this sits in here, but you actually have to fit it to the engine first, really, because of the way in which it sits. So this is a flat edge on here, which, as you can see, this isn't. This has got like a little rib on it. So what that does is that pushes the back of this into this groove to give you that sort of like a seal. So that'll sit on the engine, on the block. But just on these two edges, you've got these tiny little rubber sort of like packers that get clipped on. If you're looking at the engine, they're sort of like sitting around about here, so that when you put this little seal on, it just gives it an extra bit of like crush. Clean this off, put your gaskets in place, fit these ones, and then bolt it up. It should be pretty straightforward, but cleaning and preparation is definitely key here. Alright, so as you can see, just done a bit of a clean up. So all this face is all nice and clean, especially these little shell bits there. Took this off, so 3 bolts. Took this off, made sure it was all nice and clean in there, especially in this side of the bowl. As you can see, gasket sits there. These sit in here, and you can almost see where they mate up on there, because you've got that little sort of groove for this little section to sit in. And then up at this end, there's these couple of bits that have got they assist it. So let's work on getting that up. Okay, just for clarity, those couple of little sort of like packers that I said about, they go in there. So you tap them up into there, and they literally like flush the gap between this sort of cap seal, or whatever you want to call it, and the block. So as you can see, this is your sort of like your main journal bearing as such, or whatever you want to call it, journal shell. So this groove is where you're going to hit your rubber bit, click your rubber bit into, and that there is just where those little packers go into to make it sit flush. Fill that up with some gasket maker, click it all in, and then fit your gasket along. Make sure it's nice and clean. That one's in there as well. Happy days. We have a special guest, Father Baker. So we just put the gasket on using a bit of where is it? Grain 999 gasket maker. Put the 2 rubber seals up at each end.
You got my best side?
Yeah, I got your bum. Put the gasket up on both sides, so stuck it up with the mastic, and then put the sump up, and now we're just like going around backwards and forwards, just nipping them up. So it seems like the gasket sat nicely. So hopefully this fixes it. The next task after this will be just keep going around and nipping them up, and then I'll put all the work up cross member back up on and support the engine and that. So going well. Right, so that's done. Father Baker's gone. So you can see here, gasket's all on, It's got the Loctite stuff up. Same on this side. So excuse me. So now basically it's just a case of reassembling it all. Let's save that for the next video. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and hit the little bell notification so you know when there's any more videos coming from me. And also check out our Facebook page. We post anything, pictures, videos, anything I find helpful, such as like little educational videos, stuff like that. So see you in the next video.